What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is 5 reasons not to move to the UK.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Obviously, we love the UK. We do a lot of videos on America. We love that as well. But we do love the UK. You know what I mean? We're from there. We do love it. So we're probably going to disagree on bits on this.
Yeah, or agree, I guess.
We may agree on some things. We'll try and be objective as possible.
There may be... the UK is such a big place. Like, not as big as America, but in terms of there still is differences north and south.
100%. And there's a lot of things wrong with the UK.
We may agree on some things as to why we wouldn't move Jersey to UK, for example.
Yeah.
They may be different. So.
100%. But we may end up looking like solely Brits because we do have the UK. We may not. Smash that if you enjoy, guys. Smash that subscribe. I've just realised the mug I'm drinking my Coke from says Mummy to be. So that is Millie's mug. You are Mummy to be because you are 37 weeks pregnant.
I'm going to be 38 this week.
This week will be 38, which is mad, isn't it?
And I think I am going to go into... I actually am going to go... I'm going to say this now on camera.
Okay.
I think I am going to have the baby this week.
You reckon this week? I'm still sticking by 22nd. I always said 22nd.
I don't know if
Due
I can have all
these
these pre-pains for this long.
Yeah.
For that long.
I don't know. Smash that button, guys. Smash the subscribe button. I may also be super tired because I did do a 20-mile walk on the north coast, which is like... That is... It's not just a flat run. Yeah, we did because
I was traumatised from last year.
So I did do that today, so I might be super tired, but it's for charity, so that's a good thing. Are you ready to get into it?
I am.
5 reasons not to move to UK. What have we got? I'll press it on the mic.
Hey YouTube, what is happening? It is Luke here, so I'm coming at you with another comparison here. It is 5 reasons why you should not move to the UK. Now, I'm actually from the UK. I've spent most of my life growing up there, so I feel highly educated to give this comparison since I now live in Canada. So guys, since so many of you watch my videos and you don't subscribe, I'm going to try a little bit of reverse psychology on you. Don't subscribe to my channel. There you go. Alright guys, so smash that like button. Let's dive into this. Number 1 reason, guys, why you should not move to the UK is space and pollution. The UK is more densely populated than Germany and Italy, which kind of surprised me because Germany has a much higher population than the UK. The UK has a staggering population of nearly 68 million people packed onto this tiny little island.
It's a tiny island.
Due to its proximity to Europe and the population density factor, the UK has a massive problem with air pollution. And just when you thought...
Because obviously, compared to America, no space. Let's be completely
obvious,
honest.
and that is, I think, is part of the reason why our houses are smaller, everything's smaller, is because there's only so much space. We only go out so much.
100%. You're not there like everyone's just like little sausages touching. Obviously not.
Yeah, it's not that bad. But
I think if you compare it to space in America,
very noticeably smaller.
Completely. We've done loads of videos on
which is like
wardrobes, all sorts.
Yeah, I would say it's like the comparison in England. The UK to America is like Jersey to the UK.
Yeah, and I feel like that one is maybe a thing not to move to UK because potentially you lose. You don't want to lose a walk-in wardrobe potentially. You don't want to lose a massive garden potentially. But if you're in the UK, I don't think you're bothered because you're just used to that.
Yeah, I guess it is.
You're just used to that now. 100%. Pollution, sorry.
Pollution.
London, isn't it?
London.
I think London's just the main bad one. There may be other places.
Yeah, I feel like maybe there is parts of the UK that's bad, but I feel like London.
That's probably the main one, isn't it?
It's a big city.
Yep.
Full of buses, cars.
It's even pollution tax,
so many airports and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
one
definitely.
small. I say small lightly, but it is a small area.
I don't know about the rest of the UK. Never noticed it in Rotherham, but it's a smaller place.
I couldn't say that when we've been to Rotherham, I've noticed the air's worse than in Jersey.
Yeah,
but London.
Yeah, London's definitely worse. 100%.
Yeah.
It was really good in the summer when you're getting a nice heat wave in England. That's generally because air is coming from the south.
It was warm today on my walk.
You are literally just getting all the pollution from Europe come up to England. Air pollution is estimated to cause as many as 40,000 deaths per year.
That's a lot.
And just to compare that, there's been 100,000 COVID deaths, and they estimate at least 30,000 of those were actually not related to COVID. They were just people that had COVID and died of something else. Air pollution accounts for 8% of all deaths in the UK. It causes strokes, heart disease, lung cancer, all sped up because of that air pollution factor. And it doesn't matter if you're in the cities or the countryside. The country is just too small, so the air pollution is literally everywhere. And I took the liberty of getting this air pollution map right here just to show you. And then as comparison, look at this one. And you can really see the reds and the oranges and the yellows. Those are real bad air pollution spots. That is the equivalent to like the air pollution in China. A good place to monitor it is a place called windy.com. You can literally go on air pollution and you can look at the different factors and it tells you the real-time data. Number 2, guys, is depressing weather. Now this one hits home massively.
See, this I think is an opinion.
Well, it's whatever you like.
Because, not that I'm saying I'm anti-sun and all of that.
Yeah.
But I actually do prefer the colder climate.
Yeah, see, I prefer the hotter climate.
See, like, I'm it's not just because I'm pregnant, because every summer I'm like, it's too hot, it's too hot. I prefer it cold, which means I feel like I would. But
you don't want it too cold as well.
No,
so
like, I wouldn't survive in the hotter states in America.
Yeah.
But also I wouldn't survive in the really cold, like Alaska.
Yeah.
I need like
and in between.
I'm happy with what I am for Jersey. Yeah.
You know, you'll be fuming with it if it rains on the wedding.
But yeah, it will be. It needs to be sunny. I've picked the summer for that.
Yeah.
But like today when it started raining, I was like, oh, finally. Like,
I was so glad. Literally, by the way, today was like 30 degrees, but literally there was like an hour of it spitting, and I was like, oh, it's heaven.
Well, this is how mad it is. At the top of the island, it was spitting. The bottom of the island, it was absolutely hammering it down, and that is just a small island.
Small island.
Weather is crazy.
The weather in England, the weather is just so in winter time, it is just misery in England, and the reason why this happens, I'll just let you know real quick, is because all of the warmth that England has, because it's on a far north latitude, comes from the Gulf Stream. Basically what happens is in the winter time, the air at the surface in England is quite warm because of the Gulf Stream, but the air at altitude is really cold because of the northern latitude. So what that does, because there's such a huge difference in the different atmospheres, it creates a layer of cloud, and that means that England is cloudy and rainy and drizzly and humid all winter long.
Definitely
it never ceases to amaze me, like a 1 to 5 degree temperature will feel as bad as like a -10 or a -20 day, because the humidity is just so intense in England. There are 155 days of rain per year, and that isn't even including all the cloudy days. That just is insane. I mean, that is insane. God, that is insane. Why do 67 million people live on that island? Number 3, the NHS. Yes, the NHS, and there's a couple of reasons for this. Despite being a free system, it is riddled with corruption and...
Yeah, in Jersey, we don't get access to it.
I can't comment on this. You could probably from when you lived in the UK.
I was young though, wasn't I?
We're private. We have to pay for. We don't have to pay for our hospital healthcare. We have to pay for our doctors and.
Yeah, I think it'd be good for, even though it can have a lot of negatives, it can be slow. And yes, we are technically paying. Well, we are paying for it with our tax. I just can't imagine, and this isn't a dig at all. It's just I can't imagine having a massive bill if something went wrong and not being able to afford it.
Personally, I would rather have a longer waiting time.
Yeah, and actually be able to get it done. If you can afford it, then fair enough. But if you can't, at least it's something there.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Completely exploited. Staff who provide care for the NHS are overworked and underpaid. And despite all the clapping that was done last year, is it going to increase their pay? No.
Yeah, that is a sad thing at least.
Wait times for A&E in England are usually over 6 hours pre-COVID. Referrals to specialists can take as long as 6 to 12 months. The NHS really is a good thing, and it is something to be preserved, but basically years of austerity, exploitation, corruption have been riddled into the NHS, and now they're trying to move everybody to thinking a private system would be better, which just simply simply isn't true.
It just needs
what
work.
England needs is a better government. Number 4.
They need to just pay the NHS staff better.
Yeah.
Employ more people so that they're not overworked.
Give the incentive to be employed.
I think they do, because the thing is a hard job, and doing 12-hour shifts on
It must
little
be.
pay. Why would you actually want to grow up
It's
to do
such
that?
a hard job, and fair play to everyone who does it, by the way, because absolute heroes. But it's so hard.
Yeah, it's such a full-on job, and then to go home and to barely make ends meet
It's hard.
it doesn't
definitely.
make it worth it, does it?
Well, guys, the traffic, another one
Okay.
that hits home, because I used to work in the field, so I used to drive all over the place, and some days I would just feel like getting home and ramming my head through a wall like a bull. The real reason for the traffic is the fact that public transportation is a disaster and so unreliable and so expensive as well. And the other reason is there's just been a lack of investment into the roads in England. I mean, the roads, some of them were built hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and they still kind of look like they did back then, apart from they've just got a surface on it. Another reason is expanding the roads gets a lot of people up in arms. It brings out all the NIMBYs, and a NIMBY is essentially a person that's like, not in my backyard. It is not uncommon in the UK to be stuck in a traffic jam for over 8 hours, which just seems insane when you
don't know about
consider
that.
how the roads work.
Don't get me wrong, there's traffic at times. I don't think 8. I think 8 hours is a bit extreme. I think that's a bit exaggerated.
I do, yeah. I think that might be a little bit extreme.
Yeah, I feel like maximum it's been like an extra 2.5 hours onto my journey, or 4, maybe 4. I didn't think 4 hours, but
8 hours is a
trying to be
very long,
reasonable.
very.
It's like it's half a day nearly.
There's no.
Yeah, I think that might
If
be.
he
a bit
has
exaggerated.
had that must have been like an exceptional
Exception,
where like they've had like a bad motorway crash and they can't open any of the lanes.
multiple crashes and
So,
stuff like that. Yeah.
I don't think that's not regular.
I've had once. The worst one I've ever been in is I'll go into a football away day and there were a crash on the motorway, and we just got stuck, and then we ended up being about an hour out when kick-off. So we're only an hour late technically, or 2 hours late, whatever it were. So we went to the pub and watched football in the pub. So we bought tickets, bought the coach. There were about 30 of us, all on the coach going. Stopped at a pub, watched the football in the pub, went home.
8 hours. That's like a whole work day. Like,
8 hours.
this
I think that's a bit extreme.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, the traffic can be bad at times. But I think 8 hours is a bit
but also,
extreme.
and I feel like actually, motorway traffic, it's not like every minute of every day you go on the motorway and you're stuck in traffic, because I think I've been stuck in traffic a couple
times, and we've been quite a few times on the motorway.
And actually, when we've been driving, the last time we drove, we didn't get in any.
I think it's a bit exaggerated, that one.
Yeah.
I think.
In
From our
places
experience.
like
Yeah.
Germany, France, Italy, Spain. It's just a disgrace really to Europe, the UK. The roads are just completely underinvested in. We are really put to shame in the UK by the rest of Europe. Variable speed limit, millions of traffic cameras, average speed checks, and still loads of traffic. It obviously isn't working. Number 5, guys, is the
Or
cost.
is it working? Because everybody's doing the speed limit.
Oh yeah,
So
that
that's
bit's
why there's
true.
more cars.
Don't be wrong, there is traffic by the way. I didn't want to be like boozing
No.
it, but 100% is. But I feel like 8 hours is just
Yeah, a bit
extreme.
Cost of living. England ranks 19th in the most expensive countries to live in the world. It
Wow.
is right behind Sweden and Finland, the Scandinavian countries, which everybody knows to be expensive.
Yeah,
Some
they're
of the
all
most expensive things in England is anything to do with transportation,
Yeah,
like
transport's
owning
expensive.
a car or public transportation or petrol or anything like that. Another thing, England ranks poorly for utility costs such as electric, water and gas. It's very expensive in England compared to the rest of Europe and other developed countries. Sports and leisure activities are also 20% more expensive in England than the rest of Europe. Rent is very expensive in England, and so is buying a place.
not compared
Childcare
to
is
Jersey.
extremely expensive. It's 50% more expensive than most of Europe. Another
trying to
surprising
fix your
thing was
childcare.
mortgage interest.
Yeah, I know they brought thinking
Oh, they
about
have.
getting more stuff free
In
and stuff like
Jersey,
that.
they've made it so 3-year-olds get 30 hours free.
Yeah, I think in England there was Summit which
they're
came in as
Similar
well.
to doing that.
But yeah, it can be quite expensive. But the thing is,
I
I
don't
suppose coming from Jersey, because well, we're in Jersey
That's what I
now,
mean, if-
it's a lot more expensive, so we don't see it as expensive.
Yeah, when we go, it's like Oh wow! Like,
Yeah, it
these
seems a
houses
lot
are so
cheaper.
cheap.
Definitely, because we're in Jersey. So maybe
Yeah.
that's just another thing again. I don't know. Let us know in the comments.
Interest rates are nearly double the rest of Europe. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that.
How was it?
video.
Enjoy that.
It was good. I like the fact that he backed up his points.
He weren't just trying to go over UK.
He weren't. He had reasonable like.
Apart from the traffic one, I will disagree with that 'cause he didn't have anything to back that up.
No, he didn't.
But
then yeah,
he had stuff to back up. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. I don't really have anything else to say to it.
I think we commented throughout.
Smash that button, guys. Smash the subscribe button and watch the video.
Have a fantastic day.
And we'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.